It doesn't get old.
It doesn't get old.
I'm still a little out of sorts, Ty, from our Friday adventure.
Yeah, we may have had a little bit of fun.
It's still Wednesday. I'm learning.
Getting through the week.
I need to maybe find some way to gain some more life force.
Some more life force?
Yeah. Anyways.
Cool. Hope everyone's having a good week so far.
Yeah,
I know we are.
We're almost halfway through. Next week's a short week, so.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's Easter.
It's Easter, right? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So without further delay, we're going to keep this one relatively short today. This is the next installment of our amazing series with Terry Burns at CareCru.
Oh, we're getting a call.
Ringing? Oh,
we're getting a call.
It's my phone. How rude.
That is very rude.
Pardon me.
Oh, and now they're going to see, whoever it is going to see that you just axed them. Anyways, let's move on.
Just my son. So let's jump in. So CareCru, we talked about last time. We have the three components of CareCru: the patient acquisition, workflow automation, and the insights and analytics. So today we're going to jump in a little bit on the patient acquisition side of things.
Yeah, I'm pumped to just dig into the software, and we decided to break it into three parts because there's just so much that this system does, and we want everybody to know about it.
Yeah, we're excited about it, so we want to share.
So without further ado, let's bring in the oh, geez.
Wow. My phone hasn't rang.
You're getting blown
in an
up.
hour now. It's like ringing every 5 seconds here. Sorry about that.
Man. Oh my goodness.
I can put it outside the room.
Now I've lost. I've totally lost what I was doing.
I've thrown Mark off.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Hey Terry, how's it going?
No, I gotta add people. Hang on a sec.
There he is.
Let me get sorted here.
Technology.
You're gonna have to share your screen again. My apologies.
Terry is?
Yeah. Yes. Unless it's not up there because I turned it off. Anyways.
How's Terry doing today?
Terry, are you as good as we are?
It doesn't seem so, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good for a Wednesday. How are you guys?
We're good. We're getting through it this week. It's good.
There's your screen again. Thank you, sir.
Lots going on. It's busy.
Awesome. Yeah, we want to just get into this this acquisition piece. So important. We're covering everything from bringing folks in to filling missed appointments. Let's get into it.
Take it away, Terry. Let's talk about patient acquisition.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we left off, one of the challenges a lot of dental practices have is filling that schedule, and that's the most important. And so once the effort is put in from all of your marketing campaigns that you guys are assisting practices with, once patients get to the practice, what happens next? And so we've really looked at the workflow from a patient perspective, so a patient journey, and then also the workflow from what it looks like in the practice. So I'm going to dive into the platform and I'm going to walk through just a highlight of what the practice will see when it goes through the patient communication, but then walk through what that patient control is. And we'll go through that in a little detail because I think it's really important to solve another issue that practices are facing right now, and it's those short notice cancellations.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. And I'll throw a little thought in here. So you did touch on, from what we're doing on the street to bringing that patient in. I would argue that this conversation we're having today is the most crucial of all conversations on the front end. It's, it connects marketing, all this investment you're doing externally to try and bring folks in, build good traffic, and how are we converting these people is the utmost important. Making
sure there's a good ROI on the marketing dollars.
Exactly. So the higher we can convert that traffic, the better, obviously, the better ROI we get. So anyways, to your dashboard, sir.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're absolutely right. That's one thing that we really want to focus on is how well are we converting those patients. So if you're looking at the platform here, as you guys can see, this is the home screen or our dashboard. And we're going to live just today in this schedule through marketing area. And this is going to be the workflow from how a practice would introduce a patient into the practice all the way through walking that patient out. Because what we want to do is we want to create a loop of perpetuity with new patients. And we'll talk about how we do that. So once you guys do your efforts and the patient either phones or goes to the website, which typically goes to the website, what happens next? So I'm going to walk through a patient journey. So this is an actual practice that is on the CareCru platform. And as you'll see, the patient has full flexibility of booking online. So we'll walk through a fully customizable approach where I'm going to say that I'm a new patient today. I'm going to come in for a new patient consult. I have no preference of which hygienist I'm going to be seeing, and I want to come in on Thursday. So the beauty of our platform is, as you can see, it's checking availabilities. It will read and write bi-directional into the practice management software system. So let's say that I want to come in at 9:10. As I go through that, if I were to book, say I wanted to come in on Wednesday, or the appointment wasn't available, I can join the wait list or opt in for a wait list. So as a patient, I have full flexibility of the control of when I can come into it. So as come into the practice. So I'm going to choose weekdays. I'm not a Friday guy, and I'm a morning person. So I'm going to click mornings, but 11 is too late for me. Then I go through the whole sign up process. And this is really good on the practice side because we validate that I'm an actual patient, and I get to receive a text that I have to validate. Once that is done, then I'm into the schedule. So that's what the flow is for me as a patient. Does that make sense, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's brilliant.
Perfect. So once that happens, you will see here on the dashboard or on the schedule, there will be an icon, a little bubble, indicator bubble, that there's a new online appointment request. So even though we write into the PMS, the practice still has full control. And so they can accept or reject that appointment. Once they accept that, then the analytics begin to tie to that. So they accept that appointment, and then the practice can choose to send a text communication over to the patient, and they can include forms with that, new patient forms, so they can communicate directly with that patient. So now they have that two-way text communication going with that patient. But I go back to that waitlist feature for a moment. So let's say that we're in the practice, and this is a big problem that a lot of practices are facing now, with even coming out of COVID, as these short-term or short notice cancellations. Let's say that we had David here cancel his appointment at noon. The practice administrator, whoever is in charge of running the schedule, can come into that wait list, and they can sort out any patients that are scheduled for Wednesday, we'll call it, at noon, and then do a mass text communication to those patients. And what you'll see here is it's very customizable, and it's a first come, first serve. So now, instead of hammering the phones as somebody would do, they have full control of sending out this text at one point in time to communicate to those patients that there is an available appointment. So it speeds up that process and eliminates a lot of the gaps in the schedule. So that's
cool,
what
how automated that is.
It's amazing.
It's very efficient for a lot of practices. So we go through that process, and now the patient's into the practice. What happens next? So the patient has great treatment, and the staff does a very good job taking care of that patient. So once the patient leaves the practice, we want to make sure that we leverage the success of the group and the success of the hygienist or the doctor and the support staff. So we then send an automated request out for a review. And what will happen is, here in the platform, and it'll congregate all of the reviews that are out on the web, but further, anyone in the practice can respond to these reviews. So any 4 or 5-star reviews will go directly to Google, and then 3 stars or less will go to a practice administrator, so they can address that patient specifically without that being shared through the Google review site. And then again, all messages and all reviews can be responded to here. So why this is important is because when I'm looking at your marketing material or whatever drives me to search your customer's name, your dentist that you're representing name, I'm going to look for reviews. I'm going to look how they deal with their patients and the type of feedback that they're getting. So now we're reaching new patients by improving those average reviews, the average review ratings, as well as the number of reviews, so we can take advantage of those SEOs. So that's really at a high level, in a nutshell, of how our patient acquisition process works, especially in perpetuity. There's a bit more to it, but I didn't want to dive too deep into it to bore anybody that's listening.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, like I cannot, is it understate or overstate? Understate how important reviews are. Overstate.
Yes. They
like get your reviews. Like if you're not driving reviews in your practice right now, find out a way. I got a way for you. Like it's up on the screen here, but
it's nice that it's automating both the recalls
right.
and the review process. So
That's
that
right.
that really takes a lot of work off of their shoulders, right?
Now, what I would say too is, you know, if they do leave a review, I would do some sort of verbal, you know, with them. You might see something come up that will give you the opportunity to leave a review. If you do, you know, that'd be great. We would really appreciate that sort of thing. So, anyways.
Absolutely.
No, that's great.
Cool.
That was a nice quick look at what the acquisition side of it entails. So that's really cool. So after this, we'll be moving into the automation side of things, right?
You
Absolutely.
betcha.
Yeah. There's a whole different workflow when it comes to practice automation as well. That alleviates. Remember, the entire goal of our platform is to alleviate the stress at the front office and the front staff, as while we're creating a better patient experience for their patients. So automation plays a big part of that.
Awesome.
This has been awesome.
Looking forward to it.
I'm already looking forward to the next one. I'm going to get some more sleep for the next one.
Rest up.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else to add, fellas? Or are we going to
It's good.
keep her short
Nice and
sweet
quick and nice and concise today. So thank you, Terry.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
absolutely. Guys, thanks for having me. It's always great to see you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Well, we'll see you again.
We'll see you again when we
A
talk
few
about
times.
automation.
And then we're going to see you when you invite us down to Miami, but we'll get into that like towards the end of these
She
sessions.
needs to rest up a little bit first.
So I hear.
All right, Terry. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Have a great day, Terry.
Thanks, you too. Bye.